Oh, ow, my
God.
my ears. We talk about fashion. Yes. Emily, that I love my job. I love my job.
Oh my God, there is deeper tea than I actually realized.
I actually related with both Andrea and Emily, especially in the first part.
I think Gen Z was a reaction to The Devil Wears Prada only.
How can we miss Simone Ashley? And oh my God, I loved her fits. I interviewed for that job and I was like, come on, it's been a month, please.
Why is no one ready?
I mean, we are ready. Come
Are
on.
you?
Yes, now we are. Cameras are rolling.
Okay, so I think this should give you enough hint of what we're going to talk about today. Hi guys, welcome to Casually Obsessed. Here we talk about everything that is going around on the internet, in the world of pop culture, whether it is TV shows, movies, trends, anything. And today we are going to talk about the one and the only Devil Wears Prada 2.
And also the Met Gala.
And also the Met Gala.
Yes.
I mean,
We talk about fashion.
Yeah,
Yes,
this
exactly.
episode will scream fashion.
Exactly. And just yesterday, I made this very weird connection between these two things. I mean, as someone who has read The Devil Wears Prada and has also watched the first movie, I was very, unaware of the fact that it is a real story.
Niharika, where have you been living?
Under some
Finally, you
rock,
woke up.
definitely.
Yeah, man.
And B, it's based on Vogue and Anna Wintour. And I'm like, this was a moment of, oh my God, like the Janice level, oh my God, for me.
Please do it.
Oh, ow, my
God.
my ears.
But yeah, I mean, and now we are of course also going to talk about Met Gala, which of course is helmed by the Anna Wintour. So yesterday I sent both of them like this super excited voice note that, oh my God, these two things are related. And both of them were like, hame to pata tha.
Aishwarya is like common knowledge. Come on.
I was like, did I miss something?
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have been saying that. I have missed a lot.
Yeah, because you spend your time watching Bhool Chuk Maaf.
हाँ, कहाँ time मिलेगा
कहाँ
निहारिका?
time मिलेगा निहारिका को
Yes.
है ना?
Meow, 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 meow.
But I love this joke, Bhool Chuk joke.
Anyway, coming back to Devil Wears Prada 2. Guys, what do you think about the movie?
Did you guys catch it?
I wasn't able to. I've been at a
I
wedding.
did. I mean, see, I, as a fan of The Devil Wears Prada, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, and Emily Blunt, I had a good time. But if you ask me, was it a quintessential comeback sequel? No, it wasn't. Did I enjoy it? Of course. It is better than other Hollywood sequels that has been produced in the past. In recent years, like Sex and the City, they just, so,
Whether it was the show's comeback or the second movie,
yeah.
none of it
But-
could do it.
I just feel that a lot of juice was missing from the movie, drama. And they tried to highlight important things like how journalism, the state of journalism in this social media generation, or maybe you can call internet journalism. And but the biggest question is, I was discussing it with my friends as well. The biggest question is, after being an award-winning journalist like Andrea, and spending 20 years, giving your life, and you have traveled across the country for 20 years, and still you need validation from Randa Frisley. So that somehow didn't make sense.
I thought that was a good observation at the end of the day, because the child inside you, I mean, at least I feel that is, it's always somewhere there. You may get the best laurels from the best people, the highest level of awards, but you want to impress that one teacher who thought you were a dunderhead. You want to tell that relative or a difficult parent. You want that parent
You
to
want
say,
to be like,
"I'm proud
top to
of
my
you."
hand. See where I've
No,
will
just
see
for
what I've
them, just
become.
to say that I'm proud of you. That
Yeah,
I
that also.
misjudged you. You were far more capable. Anybody who's sort of belittled you want them to say that, oh, I was wrong. And I think that is what brings Andrea back to Miranda. Yes.
But Miranda never said that. Even in this sequel.
Was she all like, that's all?
Yeah, that's all. You did it. You did everything for yourself. Okay, so there's a standard premise that Andrea will save the day anyhow. But Miranda, of course, would not appreciate her. She goes like, at the end of the day, you did it all for yourself because you wanted to secure your job at Runway. And I think this makes sense. Like, she was running around the city. She was trying to speak to brands and whatever billionaires to save Runway and Miranda's career just for herself because she wanted her job. She
That's
got
a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. I mean,
that's an observation, I would
that's
say.
I thought this was actually an indictment of capitalism from what I was able to research, which is, of course, secondhand knowledge. You don't know. But isn't it true that they went after the billionaires who want to buy print journalism?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah, they
and
did.
then she's buying into that capitalism. You look for values, right? No?
But I also
it's
feel
heartbreaking
that
then.
it might not be entirely that way, that, she was just trying to save her job, because even at the end of the first movie, there is this entire sequence where Andrea gets to know that Miranda is going to be replaced by another head of the department from France. And then Andrea...
Yeah, Jacqueline, I guess.
Yeah, Jacqueline...
Some Jacqueline.
Yeah. And then she runs into Miranda's room and bangs her door. I can still remember that scene. It is so funny that she's banging her door, that open. And then she's like, oh my God, you're going to be replaced. And Miranda is like, yeah, I smelled some flowers. I don't need these flowers. Remove these flowers from here.
There was some dish she was talking about. But anyway.
But the point was that she genuinely wanted to save Miranda that day.
Miranda is not so easily replaced.
Yeah,
That is the idea.
Yeah,
And people usually would hate on a woman as portrayed by Miranda Priestley. It's very difficult for women to get to these high positions. And I feel that if Miranda Priestley's role had been played by a man, he wouldn't get half the hate that she gets.
Exactly, there is this dialogue in the first movie where Andrea says exactly this, that if she was a man, no one would have had any problem with how
This
she's
is why
functioning.
I never hated Miranda.
Yeah, I never felt that she was the devil who wears Prada. I don't think that she was the devil. I don't
Maybe
think
a
anyone
tough
was the devil.
boss.
Yeah.
You have to be tough if you're running something like Vogue. We're in journalism. I've been in print journalism also. And it is very important. Like, if you let your typos go, if you let mistakes of have and has, or, any minor, a name misspelled, spelling misspelled, if you let that go, it just brings down the quality of the whole product. So you have, quality control is the most important thing that has to be done. And usually it is done by the top bosses.
So it makes sense also. But Shruti, since you watched the movie, what kind of parallels do you think were there in the first one and in the second one?
Remember the sweater?
Cerulean sweater. And the monologue that followed.
Yeah. I think she wore a similar sweater.
She's
in
been
the
wearing it in promotions also.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute.
That, and there was little moments like Emily's bond with Andrea. It's still the same, that they haven't spoken in the last 20 years, but you know, they just
Am I
get
hallucinating?
Yeah. I love my job. I love my job. I love my job. Now she's working at Dior.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought Emily actually made it, despite Miranda tearing into her and saying that, you know, you're a vendor, not a visionary, right? And it's true, not everybody can be a visionary. And Andrea is a visionary and Miranda is a visionary. And that's why they're more on
And
on
I
par.
know, you know, Emily had a sense of it. She knew her capabilities, that she's not a visionary. And this is why, alert. So, this is why she finds a patron who becomes her boyfriend.
And we do know who that patron might be based on.
Yeah.
That's
and-
the biggest tea.
Yeah. And then she tries to buy Runway and replace Miranda. Yes.
Oh my god.
That is metafiction, because there is the person that we assume that the internet is saying is actually the patron. His now wife, for her vanity project, they did try to. There were rumors that they were going to Condé Nast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There is deeper tea than I
Detail,
actually
yes.
realized.
But
Yes.
it's fun. This is real fun.
I mean, I think the Devil Wears Prada continued their legacy of mixing fact with fiction.
Yes, they did that, and that was very cheeky. I mean,
Clearly.
that
Oh my
person
God.
is one of the most influential billionaires. He's also involved in the Met Gala this time. And if you've guessed who it is, then you should just comment. For reasons of not getting sued, I'm not going to mention their name.
But you know, like exactly talking about this, like mixing fact and fiction. There is this entire podcast that Vogue did recently. It's called The Run Through by Vogue. And they had the real Emily on as a guest. That is Leslie Fremar, who is actually right now a celebrity stylist, a very famous celebrity stylist. She even styled Kamala Harris for her campaign, for her presidential campaign. And I mean, I saw that entire podcast, and you know, just a day before watching this podcast, I rewatched the first movie, and everything that she talked about, it made stuff so real. She literally said that I used to have a pair of Birkenstock right under my desk, and every time that Anna Wintour used to actually walk into my office, Anna Wintour used to walk into her office, I used to quickly switch my Birkenstocks with my stilettos and I used to walk out. And she said that there was literally one point, a couple of times when she walked in her Birkenstocks in front of her, and literally that same look that Miranda gave Andrea when she was wearing her loafers, she used to get that same look from Anna Wintour, just looking straight at her shoes and not saying anything. Bone chilling, my god.
But the question is, I was just thinking about it. Do you need to be fashionable and a fashion enthusiast if you're working for a fashion magazine? Doesn't matter if you are in a features department or working closely with the editor.
No, so I actually feel that it is very important. I know many people who think they're fashionistas. They're very beautiful, for sure. But if you look at their dressing sense and dressing style, I mean, they may have money and they may be dripping in diamonds, but you know, they're on the other side of quiche. So you know, it's not. But then who decides? Like, to me, it is like a little bit cringe. But to them, they think that they're, you know, descended straight from the gods. So I think the way you present yourself is also, I think it tells the editor, it tells everybody the kind of fashion that you stand for. Because if you're working with Dior or Prada or whatever, each brand has their sensibility, and you would want that for anybody who walks through. You know, the establishment
They should embody
it.
motto or
Yeah.
the vision of the brand.
But what if someone cannot afford high-end brands. Like if you're working in Prada, but you cannot afford it.
I mean,
I
that's
think
what
they
happened
give
with
it to them.
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah,
No,
that's what.
So it happened to Andy, and it was Vogue. Vogue is a magazine, but I assume if you were working with Chanel or Prada, they would give you essentially.
they?
I think that is
absolutely.
the case when you are attending an event.
Exactly. Like in the same podcast, there was another episode in which the host was actually interviewing the rather recent assistants to Anna Wintour, and she actually asked them point blank that, "Do you have any access to the entire Vogue closet?" And they said no. The least that we can once in a while be provided with were heels. That's also like once in a blue moon kind of a situation. Otherwise, you actually don't have access to all the stuff that is there. Unlike Andy did with all her Chanel boots
Itna
and all her
romanticize kar diya, Baba. I cannot stop thinking about it.
outfits, especially. Yeah. And coming back to this Emily podcast, she revealed so many things which were actually very real from the book and from the movie, of course. She actually talked about that there was the mock-up book that she actually had to take up every night to Anna Wintour's house, and she had to drop it off. So that was a very real detail.
नहीं भैया, इतना तो अब Gen Z नहीं करेंगे.
नहीं करेगा. Gen Z नहीं करने वाला. Gen Z is like, ma'am, खुद ले जाओ.
Listen, my shift is over. Do not call me or send me an email.
I think Gen Z was a reaction to The Devil Wears Prada only.
There was this scene where Miranda was hanging her jackets and coats all by herself, and it was hilarious because remember in the first
she throws it on Andy's desk.
there's like a 1 minute sequence where she's just throwing her jackets.
There is this montage of constantly throwing her jackets and her bag on Andy's desk.
So behind the scenes, they said that it took them many takes because the jackets wouldn't fall the right way or they would slip or something. So I think they did it for a really long time. I mean,
Oh my god. And this thing she also said, Leslie Freemar. Let's stop calling her Emily. Her name is Leslie Freemar.
I'll just call her real Emily.
Real Emily. She said that you actually, like the way it's shown in the first movie, that Miranda just, barks instructions and you can't counter question. You actually couldn't counter question Anna Wintour. And it's so mind-boggling that I don't remember the exact incident, but she also did mention when they actually got to know that there is this book that's coming out. So Anna Wintour called Leslie Freemar. She was still working with Vogue, but in some other department. And she said that, there's this book coming out about you and me, and you are shown much worse.
she must be so glad about it.
Aishwarya, have you read the book?
I haven't read the book.
I really want to understand
there's a
who is
sequel
the
also.
lead in that book. Is it Andrea?
It's Andrea.
It's
It's
Andrea.
Andrea.
Of
I
course,
have read
but
the book.
ye Vogue mein to the podcast that you're talking about, they have shown Emily as this lead character because she was the
It is the story
One
of...
of
Yeah, she is. She is the devil who wears Prada.
oh really?
I mean, both of them are the
Both
devils,
of them,
actually,
but yeah.
I watched the movie for the first time as a college kid, and many things didn't resonate because I was still not in the workforce. Now that I was getting secondhand anxiety while looking at Andrea and how she was running around with the coffees and the food and the bags. And, every time that she used to get a call from Miranda, I used to be like, oh my, I could feel how anxious Andy as a person, not as a character, could have felt. And I'm damn sure that there are many people out there.
I think
who
each
might
one
be
of
going
us
through
can
this.
relate to Andrea
At some
because
level.
initially we all have this energy and we are lost and we need someone to guide us and we are on our toes, to get the work done no matter what it takes from us.
And you're expected to know each and everything, even
Somehow not in my experience. I mean, I have had good seniors by God's grace who have led me and who have taught me things. But the way, like the first day when Andrea is in the office and, she is supposed to call random people and fetch random people and call, what was that? Demarchelier. Call Demarchelier, get him on the phone. Who is he? I was like, dude, at least tell her.
Yeah, I actually related with both Andrea and Emily, especially in the first part because, of course, Andrea to lead hai and I remember initially when I started working, mere boss kuch bole and I couldn't decipher it, and I was like, I can't ask him. It's such an embarrassment. I can't.
So you want to ask your colleague and
Colleagues
say,
किस
"What
cover
did they
करते
mean?"
हैं? What does he mean? What does he mean? And then Emily, that I love my job. I love my job. I love my job.
She actually, she worked hard and she made it.
She made
She
it.
At
made
the
it,
end
yeah.
of the day, she was an actual threat to Miranda. So, I mean,
Emily.
go Emily.
But
yes.
initially, when I watched the movie for the first time years ago, I was furious at Andrea because she gave up everything. You know, towards the end of the movie, I was like,
Yeah.
why would she do that? And now when I rewatched it before watching the second part, I'm like, it made sense because fashion was not her deal. It was just hey for her, right?
It was just
Like even Nigel ka wo sequence nahi hai where he says there are girls who will die for this job.
million girls will
Millions
die for this job.
job,
Yeah.
right?
Which is true for any job, actually.
Yeah.
In today's job market, you're actually, I mean, and especially in a country like India, I mean, really.
This
Just look at the listings. Yes.
relatable. I mean, it makes sense. There were definitely girls who were dying for that job. And Andrea was there it was just a stepping stone for her until she reaches a New Yorker or a New York Times or any big publishing house where she can
She
work
was
as a
actually
journalist.
working there in the second one, right?
Yeah,
But she's
right,
just laid off because some billionaire bought the paper.
You know, and
So-
it was such a funny scene. And she is receiving an award, and then she gets sacked over a text. Her entire team, yeah.
Oh my god.
And then she makes this very impactful speech.
I think that's a
Journalism
nightmare
matters, yeah.
for any person out there to be sacked over a text. Not even an email.
Email, yeah, man.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's happening a lot these days, especially with the IT industry.
That is true. That is true.
I actually loved those, like I really want those Birkin popcorn buckets. And I'm so upset that they're not
please
getting
do
them.
this, yaar. Kya hai ye?
What did you, so you watched the film?
Yeah, morning show, and it was houseful.
Oh,
I loved it.
God.
Really nice crowd.
Fairly.
But for the first time, I didn't opt for, I didn't carry any popcorn or Coke with me because
Why?
it was a morning show. I
Acha,
can't have
haan,
popcorn
can't have
for my
popcorn and-
breakfast.
yeah, true. That's what happened with me and Dhurandhar.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the movie. Of course, कोई movie ऐसे perfect नहीं हो सकती.
I mean, it kind of defies our logic that, every sequel is bad. It's not bad, but like not as good as the first one. But
Of course, because the second one is entirely fictional. First ka
Is
to
it?
it is based on
From the tea that we are getting, I don't think that's the case.
No, it is fictional. The second one, it's because she had actually written a second
Revenge Wears Prada.
Revenge Wears Prada, but it's not based on that at all.
Yeah. And even that was way back. I think even that was like 12 years back.
Yes. So
And how can we miss Simone Ashley?
Oh my god, Simone
She
Ashley.
was so good. She was Miranda's assistant in
the
this.
new Emily or the
in
new Andrea?
New Andrea.
New Andrea.
Amara, and oh my god, I loved her fits, and even her screen timing was
Indian
not that,
representation was good.
yeah. The representation was pretty good, yes.
And I've heard she had a circular character, like she was a full-fledged.
Yeah.
There was character development.
Yes,
was?
Yeah.
yes.
Now I'm very
And even
excited
she
to watch
spoke
this.
about it, like she had a blast shooting the movie because of the outfits and drenched in luxury brands, Chanel and Dior and Prada and what not.
Exactly.
Imagine. Oh my god.
It's the dream.
It's a dream,
It's the dream. Exactly. I mean, I love Simone Ashley's, character's arc, like from Bridgerton, where she got to wear all those, Regency era outfits,
But very
to
desi
now,
coded.
But very desi coded.
Yeah.
Were her outfits slightly desi coded in this?
No, not
They were
really.
very, very corporate,
very posh and
very posh.
yeah.
It was nice. But there was a huge controversy over this, I think, a girl with Chinese heritage, Jing Chong, who she was called.
Right,
and then
right.
they said there's no word like that in Mandarin. So
And also, it was said that she has been shown like a typical stereotype Asian kid.
but then they said that people who'd watch the film, there was a arc to her as well. Was it true?
I haven't the movie, the
Yeah.
Devil Wears
Yeah.
Prada.
The second
I mean, not really.
Not really.
No.
But
yeah.
I don't get it. I mean,
she has a strong personality even in real life, and that appeared on the screen as well. And she was not just doorknob in the movie. She had
She
an
had
actual job, and she was handling Miranda.
And what else? Should we talk about the Met?
Yeah,
I love the Met.
Gala, the Met Gala also
Meryl
happened.
Streep missed it. I mean, skipped
Which was
it, not
good
missed it.
because there was a whole protest against billionaires, and there's so much the capitalism, and there's so much that is going wrong in the world right now, and you want to throw money. People are buying seats for $1 million, right?
100K, yeah, $100K. My God. And
What do you guys feel about the outfits, the looks?
I loved Heidi Klum. Controversial take right off the bat. I know a lot of people
She
did
did
not.
do justice to
She did
the
do the
theme
justice
and
to
the
the
dress
theme.
code.
Because the beauty of the piece was that the person who made the sculpture, because there's a veil on the face, and how do you mold stone to show a veil? And then now when you convert it back into fashion, right? A costume. So
I mean,
how
it
do
was
you
very
how do you do
well
that? Yes, it was
done that
amazing.
way.
Yes.
Artistically, yeah, but somehow
aesthetically, not so much.
Not
That
so
way?
much. I have mixed feelings about it. I just feel that it felt more like a Halloween costume.
No, the theme
somehow,
is
because-
fashion as
Because
art.
this is my personal take. Like, if you are at Met, you have to be. This is very conventional
Aesthetics are also
thinking.
very important
That
in
you have
way.
to be very glam, but also follow the code,
Theme,
the
yeah.
theme and the dress code. But be glamorous and just express yourself and your bodily features or whatever you are proud of.
True. I loved Karan Johar.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I absolutely loved
when I woke up the day of Met, and that's the first thing that came on my Instagram feed, and I didn't know the theme by then, and I was like, okay, that's too much to take in for someone who's just woken up. But then when I got to know the theme, fashion as art, it made sense. It was definitely, well, for me, it was one of the best costumes.
I actually liked Manish Malhotra's outfit better because it was a tribute to the people who actually put in the work. Fashion as art is actually a homage to these people. So I thought Manish did a fabulous job with Karan Johar, but I think his own ode to the workers who actually put in their art, craft, and soul into it was wonderful. What did you think of Isha Ambani?
I liked the sari, I liked the blouse, the emotional quotient to it because it was created out of her mother's jewelry. But somehow the structure over her, that I think the headgear.
felt weird.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, of course, because fashion is art, blah blah blah. They just wanted to put that element in her entire look. But yeah, sari. I love saris, so of course I am not.
What did you think of the Nizams? There's a particular name for it, I'm forgetting. They put it on the turban usually, and that was at the back of a blouse.
The back of the
Ambi
blouse.
shaped thing.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah, no, I did. It was beautiful. I really
was,
liked it. It was at the back of her blouse. It was really
And it
But
used to
somehow
belong to the
agar
Nizam
they
of
should have
Hyderabad.
experimented
Yeah.
with the color of the sari, because I
it
think we
was
have
a little
seen her
pale,
in that
yeah.
shade a lot. During
Silverish.
her,
Yeah, true.
thoda sa kar sakte. Of course, there's always scope for improvement. But overall, I liked her look.
Which was one look that stood out to you?
I think I don't remember the celebrity, but it was the bubble outfit.
The bubble outfit.
It was so
so cute. Oh my
cute.
god! I really wanted to say it, but I couldn't remember who that
wore it,
woman
yeah.
is. But oh my god, that
It was
bubble outfit
beautifully
was so
executed.
pretty.
I actually liked Ananya Birla. because she had
right.
because I think it was an ode to the Indian woman, the Indian housewife who spent so much time in the kitchen. So she had all of those, little spoons and ladles coming out of her mask. And I thought the rest of her outfit was also very elegant. So I thought she was one of the standouts.
Somehow I didn't like her shirt. It was blue. It wasn't
Was
blue.
it
Miranda knows
cerulean?
better.
हम ऐसे यहाँ पे बैठ के जज कर रहे हैं आउटफिट जैसे
But
हम
हाँ.
लगे कहीं के मिरांडा प्रीस्ली.
Yeah, man. Come on.
But that's
But
the fun
anyway,
thing.
that's the fun
That's
part.
the fun part. That's the
This
fun part
is
every year
the
with the
internet
Met.
generation, and we are entitled.
So even Isha Ambani's the little canopy, which I mean, Shruti didn't like it. People have been making fun of it as like an Amazon this packaging material. But I actually thought that if you've sat in a buggy, the rickshaw buggy, right, and so that is there, and she was carrying a little. No, and she was carrying a little
Haan,
The
that
mango, yeah.
mango, yeah. That mango also had a
Mango
particular
did
significance.
generate
I read about it.
Buzz on the internet.
Yeah, it did. It did.
And it was made up of
Bronze.
steel.
yeah.
The mango. It was not
It was
a real
bronze.
mango.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been
it was.
watching
I read about it. It also had a particular significance that I can't
because
place
she said
right
it
now.
was Aam Aadmi. That's what she said.
That was the idea.
So
was it?
That's what
Isha Ambani talking about Aam Aadmi. Oh my God, come on.
she was representing India, in all shades. So, which is why, I mean, as artistic as the little canopy was, I thought it was actually an ode to the Indian summer because, you're usually sitting with
I
the
liked her
mangoes.
pre-Met
everything.
Gala wala look better.
Oh, with the
The
borders.
belts.
That was gorgeous. It was very gorgeous.
And very thoughtful.
Yeah, I loved that. I think you're right. I loved that outfit as well. That was but I liked her main Met Gala outfit as well. And talking about the Met Gala, there are certain rules that have been set by Anna Wintour that if not abided by, you can get banned, like a lifetime ban from
Yeah,
the
there
Met
are
Gala.
few celebrities that are banned.
But anyway, coming back to the rules, the list of rules that has been there and guests need to follow is that because everyone is wearing couture, so the menu is set in a way that there are no spillable dishes. Things like bruschetta, which can make a mess or spoil your outfit, not allowed. Then because there are celebrities and things have to be a certain way, no onion, garlic or parsley is allowed in the food
Yeah,
that is
I agree with the
served,
onion bit.
which kind of makes sense. I mean, also an ode to Andrea's onion bagel.
Yeah.
When Nigel
So-
enters and he's like, has someone had something onion?
No, she said, did someone eat an onion bagel? Something like that.
He said exactly that.
Yeah.
I
no,
think so.
not really.
Something related to an
Something
onion.
yeah,
Something related
onion.
to an onion.
But onion is problematic.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. And then, so there's this entire guest list, of course, that is created, and placements are given to each and every guest in a way that you're never seated with your spouse.
Wow.
That is, if your spouse is invited.
Dream seating.
Because the whole idea is that, it is supposed to be a networking event where you meet your colleagues, you meet your, people from your industry, and you talk to them. That is the whole idea. So you can't just sit with your own friends and your spouse and, chat the entire evening. That's not how it's done.
But they have after party. How did we miss Bhavika Mandava?
Oh, yes.
right.
Am I-
No, you're pronouncing it correctly. Bhavit. I mean, what did you think of it?
I did not like it. Wasn't a look. It was just casual
It
dressing.
wasn't. It was entirely made of silk and it is very difficult to make. She wasn't wearing jeans.
Of course, they'll have some gyan to share about the significance of the entire look, but I mean, it was a missed opportunity. She's Chanel's brand ambassador. How can you dress her like that?
I agree. Like a lot of people have said that, Met was not a time because when she made her debut also, she'd worn that exact dress and that was the dress in which she'd been spotted, not the Chanel dress, but something similar to that. And that was when she was spotted for the first time on the subway, right?
Oh.
She was wearing a sweatshirt and
jeans. And, she's a looker, she's a knockout, she'd look good in anything. But I think, it was more of a marketing thing because Bhavita has, she's become synonymous with Chanel. and to just remind that fashion is everywhere.
But Chanel, they have like glamorous outfits.
They could
But-
have, because the Met Gala where everybody
Because-
is slightly kooky, her
yeah,
dress did
the
not stand
internet
out.
has
yeah.
seen her in this casual fit, and they wanted to see more of her.
I mean,
She deserved couture.
the Devil Wears Prada.
No,
maybe
this
there
was
is this
couture.
line, no?
It was.
It was, but
It was made with great. That was the idea. It's very difficult to use, for that cloth because I think it was lighter. I mean, there's a
neutral
whole,
tone and
yes,
then
it was
the
very
denim.
difficult to create.
Yeah, but I love the bathroom selfie that went viral.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was the only. She was standing out by being
Exactly, coming to that. Actually, at the Met Gala,
And I think
selfies-
she was the only one who could pee peacefully because there was this whole controversy around urine bottles being spotted at the let's not get into that.
What?
But yeah, it's
God.
related to the protest that's happening.
Yeah. Oh yes, they just left it at the Met Gala.
Yes,
I remember. Yes,
yes.
yes.
But coming to that, the selfies, the one selfie that went viral, that's one thing. But actually, it's a rule that once you've crossed the Met doors, you cannot use your phones for social media. You cannot click selfies. That's a rule that was made by Anna Wintour in the recent couple of years, like in the last 8 to 9 years, because she wanted, as against the expanse of the Met Gala that people from across the world are invited, she still wanted it to be an intimate affair once the dinner starts.
Have they revised the rules? Because
People do click washroom selfies. That's like a
I
thing.
saw a video by a creator who was just passing by the venue and she recorded the
The
entire
whole thing, I know. Even I saw that, and it's just like this, and I'm like, okay,
for
you
a
can-
moment I
it's
thought
so
that
visible.
it's AI, but it wasn't.
It wasn't exactly. I was shocked.
Like people just walking by the venue can just stand there and
Enjoy the entire
There were a
show.
lot of AI videos also, which
could
were
I-
very
I don't
realistic.
think that one.
No, but there were many which were very hyper realistic.
Yeah,
and I was
Priyanka
taken.
Chopra making an entry.
Yeah,
She
even though she
didn't-
was not there.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I always root for her at Met Gala.
Yeah.
Why would she skip it? Priyanka
She'll be
Chopra,
there next
please,
year.
if this
Priyanka
video
Chopra
reaches
be
you,
there next year.
you know that I'm your fan.
Just by seeing how excited we are talking about the Devil Wears Prada and Met, I think you can understand that we do love our jobs, right? We love our jobs, guys. We love our jobs. We love our jobs. But yes, and it is because of this podcast that we get to enjoy it a little more.
Yeah,
So, and
absolutely.
hopefully you also enjoy it a little more. And keep watching Casually Obsessed every week on IE Plus YouTube channel. And you can also listen to us at IndianExpress.com at Express Podcasts. It's called Casually Obsessed. And this was me, Niharika.
Aishwarya.
And Shruti.
That's all.